What's going on, cryptocurrency universe? It's the Bitcoin miner here, guys. And today I'm going to show you really quickly how to update the Enigma wallet and bootstrap it. It shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes, and we'll have you up and running. And we'll also run through a quick purchasing of the name and the new Verus wallet. I'll also give you guys a quick preview of that and how it works. So stay tuned. So the first thing we're going to need to do is come and get the new wallets. So we're going to need to go to the Discord and or their website, and we can see the links right here to the GitHubs. And then so we're going to have to either get the command line or the GUI interface, depending on which one you prefer, but this video is going to be for the GUI interface. And then we're also going to need the GUI interface for the new Verus wallet. So first thing we need to do, I'm also going to show you on the website where to click. This is for the Verus wallet, just so there's no confusion. And this one is for the Enigma wallet. So this is what we need to focus on right now, is the Enigma wallet one, and get this up and running. This one runs in tandem with this wallet for now, until this wallet is complete, and everybody will be able to switch completely over to this one. But this one is used for purchasing names and purchasing names only. This one is still being used as the primary wallet. So we need to go ahead and download that. So I've got these links open. We're going to select those links and go over here to the GitHub. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. As you can see, there are several links. This one is the Linux. Both of these are Linux. And Mac are over here. And Windows. So I download the Windows zip file. The SHA-256 is so that you can, it's a checking system. You can verify that the file is actually what it is and where it's from. But for this tutorial, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to download directly from this file here. And you're also going to want to select the other link for the Verus wallet, the 0.03. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to download the Windows version right here. I've already gone ahead and downloaded both of these, which I will open up here in a second. Now we also need to download the Bootstrap. So I will put all of these links down in the description, and you guys can go to each location and download them yourself. This is the Bootstrap instructions, and this is what we're going to cover today, how to get your wallet quickly up and running. So the latest Bootstrap is right here. Sorry, necessary files, latest wallet, download the Bootstrap. So right here, the second link, this is where you're going to download the Bootstrap. And once you get that downloaded, which I've already done, let's see, is this a straight download? Nope, it's going to take us to this page. Once we get to this page, we're going to download the Bootstrap here. So this is where you'll go ahead and download it. It's this location here. This is where the current block height is, and of course the other links that you might need. But this is the best place and the only place to get the Bootstrap. So I'll put all these links down in the description, guys, as we go through. Now that we've collected all of the files that we need, we're going to go ahead and get them installed. So the first thing we need to do is to go into your computer, and we're going to go into the C drive, users, and then select the user that you're on, and then app data. And if you've never done the app data, you're going to have to go up here to view, and under view, we're going to select hidden items. So make sure to check hidden items so that you can see app data under your username. It'll show up right here. Then we're going to go into roaming. Now, once you're into roaming, a couple of things might happen here. If you guys have already had the Enigma wallet installed, all we're going to do, you're going to see them already here. And what we're going to do is simply rename it. so that we will re-do a fresh install when we do this process, when we're just going to bootstrap it and then move over our files. If you've never installed the Enigma wallet, you will not have to worry about this step because you will not have these folders in this location. So you can skip this step and move to the next one, which will just be starting up the Enigma wallet. So what we're going to do is rename them. I've already done so. We need to rename the Enigma here. I just put old behind it. The next one is Komodo. Then the next one you're looking for is going to be the Verus Agama Wallet. And that's it. Once you have those completely renamed, we're just going to, the system will automatically remake those folders again for us. And we're going to let it do so. So the next step is going to be to go ahead and start the Enigma wallet so that it will start putting these files in this location, as I will show you as I start it. See, they just popped up. So we're going to need to load this wallet to 1%. And you got to make sure to give it permissions. And I'm assuming you guys have loaded this wallet before. If you have loaded this wallet before, you will have the Zcash parameters, which are right here. But if you have not, we need to go to Activate Coin. And you can always just follow these steps. If you have them, it will automatically just start your wallet. If you don't have them, then it will start downloading them. So we're going to click Activate Coin. I already have them on this computer, so it'll start the wallet. If you don't have them, it'll start downloading it. And when it's done downloading it, you're going to need to close the window that pops up and this window, which will take you back to the main window. And then at the bottom left-hand corner, you will just select Verus, and you will start activating the coin that way. So let's go ahead and select Activate. See, I already have the Zcash parameters, and we need to give it permissions one more time. This will take a few minutes, depending on your processing power and your internet connection. But what we're waiting for is this to start loading and downloading the bandwidth. Excuse me, not the bandwidth, the blockchain. So it's connecting to peers. And once this starts downloading, we just want to let it get a few percentage. And once we have that few percentage, we will be able to stop it and then go back into the folders, and I'll show you how to bootstrap it, and it'll be completely loaded here in no time. While we're waiting for that, there it goes. I already have the bootstrap here. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be about 2.5 gigabytes. So I'm just going to take it from this folder, cut it. Now you guys, when you download it, it'll most likely be in your download folder or wherever you have downloaded it to. But in my case, I'm just going to take it out of here, go back to roaming, and we need to find the new Komodo file. So once you find the new Komodo file, go into there and then find Verus. Here's Verus. Now remember, we have to be very careful here because it is actively working and downloading in the background. All I'm going to do is right-click and paste the Bootstrap file in there, and then leave it alone for now until we're done with the wallet. As we can see, the wallet has downloaded a little over 1,000 blocks, which is perfect. That's all we needed to do. We're going to go ahead and close the wallet. Make sure to be patient. Wait for this to pop up. Some slow computers, this can take a few minutes. But it is important to wait for it to actually finish. Once this finishes, there it goes. Once this finishes, we're going to go back into your roaming file where we just were a second ago, and we're going back into Komodo, back into Verus, right where we put the Bootstrap. So what we're going to do is, this is a completely new, I'm doing a new install. So we're going to go ahead and delete all of this information. I will keep the wallet data that was from that fresh install. If you guys already had an existing install, now is the time to go into your old folders, just like we did before. Remember how we went in and I showed you guys how to rename it to old. And then you're going to go into your old folders, just like we did here. Pull it up. Oh, whatever, we'll go back into it. Go back into it, and you want to copy your wallet file. Take your old wallet file from Verus. Sorry, that's another copy of it, but you want to take it from the wallet file from Verus and then copy it and take it over. And you can also take your config file. That will be helpful because so if you set up any settings, you'll move your config file over. If not, we'll run through the settings really quickly. So make sure to copy that, move it over to your latest Komodo file. The reason why we're doing this is because we're initializing some state-of-the-art new tech to the network. And I don't know if you guys have been around back in the days when Zcash launched, the Ethereum launched. There are so many network hiccups. Actually, this was pretty smooth compared to other things I've seen in the past. And it's going, these guys are kicking butt. And this is a totally community-driven coin. This is completely decentralized, and there's people from all over the world helping out and getting it going. It's very impressive. If you haven't been around, I do suggest you to check that out. All right, now that we've got the Bootstrap, the wallet, I'm just going to let it create a new config file for me, and we're going to right-click the Bootstrap here, and we're going to click Extract Here. We want to make sure to do Extract Here because we don't need it in a different, we need the folders, and we don't want all the subfolders, and we don't want that extra outside folder. So this is the correct way to do it, and this is what it should look like when you're done. This will take a couple of minutes, even with a 12-core processor. This processor is about 5 years old, but it still does the trick. I'm sure you guys with the new Ryzens, the 32 cores, drooling over those. One day I'll have to get one. We'll unzip this much faster. But for now, stay tuned if you don't mind. But why that is unstripping, or excuse me, I'm getting a cold. Unpacking, we can go over and look at the Verus Connect. So I have already downloaded the Verus Connect, which I showed you here, or excuse me, the Verus wallet. The Verus wallet is right here. So we're going to go to that same page, download it. Once you download it, you're going to want to extract it to your file location or wherever you would like to keep it. I always, because there's so many of these that come out, once a month or so, and I like to keep them in case there's ever a need. I always put new at the end of the name. So it's easy for me to make sure I'm always activating the correct one. So once you guys did follow that, you would just right-click it, extract it, and then open the folder. This is going to be the execution file, but we do not want to start that just yet. We are still waiting for the other one to extract, which I believe it just finished. Here we go. So it just finished, and this is what it should look like when you are done. You should have these two folders here, your wallet file, and if you're bringing it over a wallet file, you should also bring your config file over. It is not necessary, but it is a plus. So now that we have got this ready, we're going to go ahead and start the new Enigma wallet. Excuse me, wrong one. And we are doing the new 6.05. They've actually done quite a few updates to this. And it should solve all the problems if you are having any problems. All right, we're going to have to give it permission again. Okay, this is going to take a few minutes for it to load. Now, a few things to keep in mind. If you are starting a new wallet and you're not porting one over, this thing will pretty much just start at like 98%, 99%, and then finish downloading the latest blocks, and we're going to need to double check to make sure that you are on the correct block height. If you have ported a wallet over, depending on the age of the wallet, how many transactions are on the wallet, it will conduct a rescan. You will see it right up in here, and it will say rescanning the chain. That could take up to 30 minutes to rescan. And then once it rescans, it should be up and ready to go. But in this case, I don't believe it's going to rescan because it was a new wallet. And it's still synchronizing in the background. So let's go through the settings really quickly. We're going to go over to settings. And we're going to go to app configurations. And these are the basic couple I like to do all the time. There's a lot more functionalities in here, which we'll cover in a more detailed video. But they have what's known as state guard. So if people can actually run multiple wallets and load their their wallet files on several computers and try to stake the same amount of coins on several computers. This is cheating. And this is called state guard. So you can put a private address. You would go and create a private address and put it here as the address. And you would have the ability to help catch cheaters. If you catch a cheater, then you would get their reward that they would have gotten by cheating. So this is handy. I've actually got a couple of cheat rewards. It's pretty neat. And then I always suggest to turn on your native mode staking. So whatever you have, anything in your wallet, 10, 20, does not matter the amount, you will be earning rewards and have a chance to get a block. So those are the basic setups, and we're going to go ahead and click save. Okay, we're still waiting for this to load. So in the meanwhile, while that is loading, I need to send some funds over to this wallet so that we can look into the Verus wallet, the new Verus wallet, and look into purchasing some names. So that will just take a minute. Oh, here we go. As we can see, we're at 804,173. The best thing to do right now is generally to go to the Explorer and check the Explorer height, which is right here. So all I did was go to the Bootstrap, or you can go to the website and then go to Explore and see the height. Although the Explorer files right now are being updated, so this height is not accurate. They are updating it. And they'll probably be updating it for the next day or so, or maybe the next 12 hours. I'm not 100% sure how long. But this height is not accurate. So your best bet for now is to go to Discord and just go into community support. Scroll down to the bottom and find some of the latest block heights that people are posting or ask in general chat. As you can see, somebody right here is posting 804,016. And there's our wallet address we needed. And we are at 804,174. So we're higher than that. And that was at 7:30 this morning. So I do believe we are on the right block height, and we're good to go, guys. Now we've gotten to that point, we need to send some funds over to here so that we can, I need to send some funds over here so that we can open up the new Verus wallet, and we can take a look at that. So we're going to just go ahead and double click this. Now, I'm going to run them side by side. It is recommended that they are not run side by side. I have tried this on older versions, and I did not have a problem. So I'm going to do it just for this video, just so that you guys can see, and it will update much faster. But in general practice, this could be a big no-no, and this could screw up your wallet, and you may need to start over again. So all right, it showed up even before I made it back upstairs. So here we go. I went ahead and sent some funds in, which will just take a few minutes to show up. In the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and create a profile. All right, there we go. So now we've got to the wallet. We're going to go ahead and select the wallet. Now, once we get in here, we've got to add a coin. So we're going to select add a coin here, and then select Verus. Select continue. Now again, the Enigma wallet is meant to be the primary wallet for staking and mining and everything else in the background. Just use the new Verus wallet for purchasing names. So don't activate any of this right now, and run this primarily, and then close this when you're done purchasing your names. So let's go ahead and just leave that alone and add a coin. Okay. There we go. Now, because I have both wallets open, it does sync much faster. So this will usually take another 5 or 10 minutes to go ahead and sync and get caught up. And this is why I went ahead and did both wallets open, and I had to send funds to it at the same time. So this is why I'm taking the shortcut, and hopefully it won't cause any errors. But again, don't do this, just run them one at a time. So now we've gotten to this point, and we've gotten our Verus. It is still impending. So hopefully that'll show up here in just another minute. But in the meanwhile, we're going to go and check out this wallet. I love the the new makeover. It looks really clean, sleek. The nice fading. This is going to be very impressive once they get all this together. Okay, so this is how we purchase names, is over in this tab. And this is the wallet, and then this is an exit. So if you hit this, this will actually take you out of here. It'll close it. Oh, okay. So when we're on the main wallet, you guys can change what you see the value is. I'm assuming it links to an exchange. So you can switch it to euros or USD. Okay. And then the settings. General settings. So this is similar to what we were looking at before. Okay, I'll have to do some studying on this, guys, and we'll go into it. I just wanted to do a quick preview of it as we're waiting for the funds to activate into our new wallet, which I believe has just happened. Something moved. Nope, we got another connection. There we go. There's the two confirmations we needed, and we should be able to purchase a name now. Just going to take another second, I believe, for this one to sync. Here we go. There we go. Now we have the Verus activated in the wallet. All right, guys, this is how we purchase a name. Select commitment, and then select the chain. So the reason why it says select the chain is because coming up in the next couple of months, sometime in the first part of next year, hopefully, we will have PBaaS. PBaaS will allow you to make your own blockchains off of your IDs. So, and every ID can create its own blockchain. Every own blockchain can also have its own naming system, just like Verus does. So think of it like the internet, how they have .com. To help alleviate the naming pressure, they added .io, they added .net, and all kinds of other prefixes. Same thing similar will be happening here, and there'll be other subchains that you can get names on. So for now, obviously there's only Verus, so we're going to select Verus. Now this is where we're going to select the name that we want to reserve. I find the best thing to do, remember this is an ID system, so we want to use people's names. People will be able to use this as passports, driver's license, and there's endless possibilities, login for like Facebook, bank accounts, and there's so many different possibilities that you could actually use this ID for. What's happening is just like money. Money was a tangible item, and we slowly started switching it to a digital item back in the 70s with credit cards, and it started becoming more digital. And now, IDs have been all hard, like literally, you had a physical passport, you have a physical ID, you have a tangible item. There is no digital ID available yet. And money is way ahead on the digital side. It started in the 70s, where Verus has just released the technology today to allow the world to start switching over to a digital ID system where, yeah, obviously we had physical IDs with chips embedded into them, and there's some digital connection to that, but there was still a card. This is an ID that wouldn't require a card at all. You could use this strictly on your cell phone or any other type of device. But let's get back to buying names. So I'm the Bitcoin miner. I want to, but first I want to show you some of the errors. So we're going to try to buy, as an example, we're going to put a dot in the front, and we're going to put Bitcoin as an example. This is not going to go through, and I know it because of the dot. You guys can also use the referral code that I have if you would like. It is time at. Let's see if this works. Continue. There we go. The error message I was expecting. So this is unlike any other naming system that you will be able to utilize, because there are very few parameters that are excluded. You cannot put a dot in the beginning, but you can put dots at the end. And you cannot use the @ symbol, a dash, or vertical dash, and a few different slashes, semicolon, star, and a question mark are not allowed. But you can actually use spaces. So what most people are not used to is their name. So if you were to put a name in here as an example, we can say Tom Wood is how it could be written in Verus, because it would recognize the space. Most protocols, or most things that we're used to today, you would have to do it this way with no space or a dash or something along those lines. In here, you can use spaces or dots if you would prefer. Now, what I've been suggesting people to do is actually buy both versions. So if you're buying your name Tom Wood, I would buy the old way and the new way. Just in case somebody doesn't put a space in, or does put a space, does not, and somebody doesn't go behind you and get the second version of that name. This is just a safety precaution that I would like to suggest or point out. But for now, we're going to see if we can get Wood. We're going to put the referral ID, which will allow it to only cost us 80 Verus. If we did not do it with the referral ID, it would cost us 100 Verus. So we're going to use the discount code, which is any other person's referral, and click continue. Now, out of those 80 Verus, 20 of the person who referred me will go to them. 20 of the person who referred them will go to them. So it's a 3-tier referral. And then 20 will go to the miners. So 20 will go to all the back referrers, and then 20 will go to the miners for setting up and executing it on the network. So there we go. We just secured Wood. We have not actually purchased Wood. It is not done at this point yet. And the reason being is because it's sending it to the network and it's making your claim. It's basically putting a stake on the name Wood and within the network. And then the next round, which will take about a minute, it will say ready, and then we can actually purchase it or finalize the purchasing of it and confirm it, which will take a minute. And this is another reason why I left this wallet open, so that you guys can see what will happen. It did send all of the funds that were in there, the 120, out. But it will return the unused funds back to this wallet. I know the first time I saw that, I was a little bit leery or a little skeptical, and I was like, what's going on here? But it is just the process that happens within the background. So you will see here in a few minutes that this will show back up. In the meanwhile, let's see if we can find some other names and what might be available. Well, I don't have enough funds, but let's see if it'll let us try. So what else can we see if it's available? How about Intel? Intel's company names really aren't the best idea, because there's only one person for it that can use it, and they're most likely going to be very hard to get that person to purchase that name if that's the logic. So I think we're better off to go with names that people would use as nicknames, names that people would use as real names and stuff like that. So maybe Blue. Somebody might like to be called Blue, or Mr. Blue. Let's try Mr. Blue. Mr. blue. But let's see if it's going to try it. Do it without any funds in here. Huh. Okay, so it allowed me to commit 2 names. Interesting. Okay, so it hasn't actually withdrawn the funds at this stage. I believe it's just putting them on hold, is really what it looks like it's doing. Yeah. Oh, it never actually took them out. I'm sorry, guys. I just didn't see it up here. I was looking down here for the amount. So these transactions, what it says, so maybe even leaving this window open has confused people, even me, a little bit more. But these are just, all it's doing is just sending the transaction. So it actually has not pulled out any funds out of the wallet yet. It is just securing the names, and it will not pull it out until we actually purchase it. So it's just verifying that these are even available. Okay. Let's see what else might be available. I'm just curious. While we wait, Bitcoin miner. Remember, we can use a space. So let's see what's... Oh, somebody already has that name. Go figure. Oh, okay, now we're ready. So this is how you complete the name purchases. I'm not going to worry about Mr. Blue. That was just something to see if it was available. So we're going to come over here. Now the way that this works is you have the ability, the simplest way I can think of saying this is today we're used to having a credit card. If you were to lose your credit card, you call your credit card company, and they have the ability to cancel your card, and they have the ability to issue a new one. Well, guess what? You don't have to rely on somebody else to do that anymore. You have the ability to do it yourself. If you're not comfortable with that or do not want that, you like the ability to call somebody for customer service or not, feel comfortable in the future, I'm sure that there will be services that will mimic exactly what we're used to right now through a credit card company. But the difference is you will have the choice instead of it being mandatory. So we can just simply say self, especially if this is your first ID you're ever purchasing. So self controls all of these applications of this. And then we need a private address. So I forgot to do that to start with. As you can see, I'm kind of learning this as I'm walking you guys through this. The main thing of this was to show you how to bootstrap your wallet and get it up and going. But I wanted to cover some names really quick while I'm doing this. So we need to come over here to the private address section, green button, and we do not have a private address. So we need to create a private address. We will simply create one by selecting that button. They show up. We'll pick one, the top one. Come back over to the IDs, create an ID. And again, we're going to just use self. But if you have like a primary ID, I would suggest if you're buying several names or a couple of names, make a primary ID and make that ID the manager of all of your other IDs instead of just using self. Because using self is just like a traditional ID or traditional wallet address like we're used to now. It just kind of makes it a vanity address. But by using a different controlling name, it separates the two in case this one gets lost. But again, this is all stuff we're going to learn and go over in the future. But for now, we just need to focus on purchasing the names. So we've got the name here, and click continue. Done. We now own Wood at, which will show up here in the bottom in just a second. Okay, so the funds did go out of the wallet, all of them, like I thought earlier. And then they will come back in. So what they are, so earlier they went out, but it was just simply a transaction fee. It didn't secure the large amount, the 80 Verus that it was supposed to take. And then it brought back the 119 plus minus the small amount. This time, I believe it's going to subtract the 80 and we'll have the a little less than 40 remaining, which will not give us enough to purchase the second name. Okay, there we go. So it shows in this wallet, but in the old Enigma wallet, you can see that it just disappears. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys by keeping these both open. I had them both open for a reason earlier, although that reason has passed. But as this wallet, they have solved that problem, and it shows you the immediately available amount, even though there's stuff happening in the background that this wallet is not showing. So this takes a minute, and this will show up down at the bottom. All right, guys, as you can see, the funds showed back up into the original wallet, and our ID showed up here. So here we go. This is how the ID is now available to us. It is owned to this account, and that is that simple to purchase an ID. So by simply using the ID, you can either create a private address, transparent addresses, and send and receive straight through the ID instead of through a traditional account number like we are used to. Eventually, we should be able to link all of these IDs to several blockchains. You will be able to use this for Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin. From my understanding, they are going to make most major cryptocurrencies available to be used through this ID system and within this wallet. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope this was helpful. A little longer than I was hoping for, but I think we covered a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask and join the Discord. They're very helpful in there if you have other questions. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later on.